Hi there. In this video, we will discuss the summary of the 30th chapter of El Filibusterismo, or The Reign of Greed, written by Dr. José Rizal, titled Juli. We will also study the important events, characters, settings, and lessons found in this chapter. Listen and watch carefully, as you will learn a lot from this historical work by Rizal. Let's begin. The sadness in San Diego continued after the death of Captain Tiago and the imprisonment of Basilio, but the people were even more heartbroken over what happened to Basilio. In the town of Tiani, Juli was deeply affected when she learned of her beloved's imprisonment. She couldn't accept that no one was defending Basilio, especially since his only protector, Captain Tiago, had already passed away. Juli thought that she had to find a way to save Basilio. She tried to seek advice from Hermana Bali and other officials, but they could do nothing because Basilio was in Manila. In the end, the judge suggested that only Padre Camorra could help free Basilio. Juli hesitated to approach Padre Camorra out of fear and anxiety, especially since the priest was known for his abusive behavior. Despite her reluctance, Hermana Bali continued to convince Juli to humble herself and ask for the priest's help, as it was Basilio's last hope. After several days of hesitation, Juli went with Hermana Bali to the convent. Juli was filled with dread and fear, but in the end, she was forced to enter the convent due to the taunts and pressure from the people around her. Unfortunately, what Juli feared most happened. She was abused by Padre Camorra. That night, it was reported that Juli jumped from the convent window, leading to her immediate death. The incident shocked and saddened the entire town. Tandang Selo, Juli's grandfather, was deeply hurt and raged in front of the convent, but no one listened to his cries. In his grief and sense of injustice, he quietly left the town and never returned, carrying the heavy burden of losing his granddaughter. Now, let's move on to the important events in this chapter. Juli learned of Basilio's imprisonment and decided to find a way to save him, despite Basilio having no protector after Captain Tiago's death. Juli sought help from Hermana Bali and other officials, but they could do nothing since Basilio was in Manila. She was told that only Padre Camorra could free Basilio. Juli hesitated to approach Padre Camorra due to fear and anxiety about the priest's reputation, but she was eventually forced to go to the convent after being pressured by Hermana Bali and others. At the convent, Padre Camorra abused Juli, which deeply shattered her spirit and led her to jump from the convent window, resulting in her death. Tandang Selo was deeply hurt by what happened to Juli and raged in front of the convent, but no one paid attention to his cries for justice. In his overwhelming grief, he left the town and never returned. Important characters. Juli. The main character in this chapter, she is Basilio's lover who showed great sacrifice and suffering. Desperate to save Basilio, she reluctantly approached Padre Camorra, which led to her tragic end. Basilio. Juli's lover who was imprisoned and left without a protector after Captain Tiago's death. His situation caused Juli great concern and led to her sacrifice. Padre Camorra, the priest with a bad reputation among women, who abused Juli. He was the only one with the power to free Basilio, but also became the cause of Juli's tragedy. Hermana Bali. She guided Juli and urged her to seek help from Padre Camorra. She encouraged Juli to enter the convent in the hope of saving Basilio. Tandang Selo. Juli's grandfather, who was deeply hurt by what happened to his granddaughter. After Juli's tragedy, he raged in front of the convent and eventually left the town, carrying the weight of his loss. Let us now proceed to the setting of this chapter. The chapter took place in the town of Tiani, where Juli and her grandfather, Tandang Selo, lived. It then moved to the convent where Juli went to seek help from Padre Camorra. Here are some of the lessons, messages, or implications shown in this chapter. This chapter highlights the sacrifices and love one is willing to give for someone they care deeply about, even if it puts them at great risk. It emphasizes the importance of love and loyalty, but also sheds light on sacrifices that are unbearably heavy and unjust. It portrays the injustice in society, especially when those in power abuse their authority. The chapter reflects the harsh reality that the poor and unprotected often fall victim to abuse and lack of justice. It underscores the consequences of desperation and hopelessness in people's lives. Decisions made under extreme fear and emotional distress can lead to deeper tragedies and sorrow. It reminds readers to seek the right path and strive for just solutions, even in the most difficult situations. And that concludes the 30th chapter of El Filibusterismo, titled Juli. What have you learned from this chapter? Share your answers in the comments. We also encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.